So how do you get the money to close deals? This is what this video is going to be about. This is one of the biggest questions I'm getting. People are thinking about buying a business, but they're asking me, hey, okay, I understand that buying businesses will get me to my goals faster, but where do I get the money to close those deals? Which is exactly why I created this video. So I'm going to walk you through step by step what you need to know. So stick with me until the end and I'll share with you everything I wish I knew someone shared with me when I started. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Moran Pober. I'm here to help you buy your dream business or few of them like I've done in the last few years. And I'm here to share with you things that I wish someone shared with me when I started. I'm the founder also of Acquisitions.com. So remember, we're talking here about how to get money for business acquisitions, right? We're not talking about starting a business from scratch here, although the same principles and steps that I'll share with you here on how to buy an existing business, you can use to go out there and start a business from scratch. Those are the same methods that you can use for either. It's just a different positioning and a different way to approach those financial partners to give you the money to your deals, right? But my focus with this channel, with you in this video, is to buy existing business, is to buy your first business if you don't have any business yet, or it is to go and buy your competitors or a complementary business to yours and how to get money to do those things. And the reason I share those things in a perspective of buying businesses, because if you follow me, you know that I don't believe in startups. Most startups fails. Most people won't tell you that because 99% of books and videos out there are from people who will tell you to go and start a business from scratch. But they never tell you that most startups fail. 99% of startups that starting from zero will fail. I don't care if you even have capital from venture capital firms. I have colleagues who are partners in venture capital firms who invest in 10 businesses and they know that 9 out of 10 of those businesses will fail. But for them, they can make money from that 1 out of 10. But for you, if you're starting from scratch, why would you want to try to be that 1 out of 10? But either way, let's go back to today's video. So how do you get the money to your deals? If you want to buy an existing business in any sector that you want, you have a dream business in mind, you're just not sure where to get that money, what do you need to do? So before I share with you all the different steps you need to take and all the different financing ways you can go through, one of the biggest problems I see with people is they think they need millions of dollars in their bank to go and buy a business. That's not true. They think they need to start a business from scratch. They think they need to exit a business, have millions of dollars to then play with to buy businesses. Or they think they need large inheritance from their parents to do it. I don't have it, but I can still do it. And so are my clients and everyone that I talk to if they have the right strategies. You don't need to use all of your money. And if you have a lot of money, even, you don't need to use it. It's not smart because your cost of capital can be played much better if you use it as a leverage. If you go out there to financial institutions and use what we call OPM, the richest people that I know, they're using OPM. They're going out there to financial institutions and they're raising capital from them. Especially nowadays, capital is so cheap if you know how to position yourself well and you have the right deal to bring that capital to. So why would you want to use your capital and risk it if there are smarter ways that you can go and access other people's money, or that you have smarter ways to structure deals? I show my clients almost 9 different deal structures that they can use that are not involved any capital whatsoever, right? Nothing at all, like merging companies together, like doing consulting for equity, like doing earnouts or seller financing or deferred payments. All those different strategies that are not required capital at all if you know how to position yourself well and know how to negotiate those things. And what you need more than anything else is your commitment, your resourceful, the ability for you to figure it out. I have a client right now who's about to buy a multi-million dollar business within few days of working with me. And he went out there and he was able to raise multi-million dollars in sums to the deal that he's about to close. He's only missing right now $35,000 to close that deal. And he came to me, he's like, man, I raised all that money so far, all I need is this. I told him, dude, you do whatever it takes to go and get that $35,000. And you can get it from so many different sources, which I'll expand on in a bit. Some of the sources that I suggested him to do, that I suggest my clients to do, is go out there to suppliers, to clients of that business that you're looking to buy. Go out there and negotiate with the business owner to give you a loan to buy that business from him. And if he's motivated enough and you know how to structure that loan, you can do those deals too. So think about it. Why would he want to use his money if he can buy a multi-million-dollar business with someone else's money? It's just more cheap for him, and he could use his money and just save it for himself. I mean, he can use his money, if you want, in the future as a leverage to do even bigger deals. And that's what I show my people. Another big problem that I see with people is that they just don't do enough financial presentations. There are tons of ways to get money: debt financing, equity financing, mezzanine, cash flow financing. There are tons of different financing. There's credit lines, there's merchant financing, all those different opportunities. Those are just few of those things that I share with my clients that they can use. If you're in the US, you have SBAs, so many financing options. But unless you do enough presentations to enough financial institutions, there's no way that you'll close deals. People think that they just need to talk to one bank and then they're good. Or they're talking to one bank and the bank's telling them no and they're giving up. And obviously, unless you know what to tell to the bank and how to position yourself in front of that bank, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to burn yourself. And this bank won't take you seriously. And if you don't know how to position yourself in front of the other banks, they won't take you seriously either. But if you think that you're going to talk to one bank and you're just going to do every deal, I don't think that's the right attitude you have. It might work, yes, that bank might tell you, yes, let's do this deal, but is it the right attitude for you to move forward? No, you need to come with an attitude of, hey, I'll talk to thousands of banks to close that deal because I believe in that deal so much. And if you have that certainty and you know how to position yourself and you know what your words to use and you know how to position yourself so the banks want to work with you more than you want to work with them, then you got yourself a winner attitude and a winner strategy. You need to understand that it's not hard. It's simple, but it's not easy, right? You need to understand few differences between asset lending and equity lending and mezzanine. And if you're going to raise asset financing, do you know what revolving facility is? Do you know the terms? Do you know the language, the lingo of that game of raising capital? Because I can give you a lot of financial institution types to work with, which I already did, right? Like asset lending, equity financing, mezzanine, credit lines, merchant accounts, SBAs, all those different options that you can get money from. You can get them from suppliers, from clients, from the owner itself who can loan you, can use seller financing, earnouts, all those different ways. But it's about the small details that you need to understand. And if you won't understand them, it's going to be super difficult for you to close a deal. And many people think that just having access to more capital, that's the answer. But many times that's not the answer, because many times getting access to more capital just means that you're going to be much more diluted in the deal. So you need to ask yourself, do you want to be diluted in the deal, or you want to find more, basically better strategy to close the deal that doesn't require any capital whatsoever, that will require you to be more creative perhaps, what will allow you to close much better deals. Like I told you before that, there are ways for you to get equity just for your value, do consulting for equity, and maybe part of the deal is not required any money at all. You just offer value for that percentage of the deal. Maybe another part of the deal is you bring in a different business and merging them together, and then you take equity there for free, right? All those different strategies that you can use that are not require capital whatsoever. But people think that capital is the answer always, which is not. It's about you being more creative. It's about you being more committed to learn all those different strategies, to understand the nuances of how to negotiate a deal. And that's one of the biggest problems I see. People always think, hey, I just need more money to close that deal. That's not true. Having more money will help you close those deals faster, but then the question is it worth it for you? Or is it worth it for you to maybe learn more steps? And let me know in the comments below if it makes sense. Having more money to close a deal isn't necessarily the only way to do it. It's about learning more creative strategies to negotiate with the owner and knowing how to position yourself so you can get equity for free many times without any capital whatsoever. Now, after I talk about those things on how to raise money, people ask me, hey, if I raise money, is it going to be good for internal growth as well? Or is it just for external growth? Or they even ask me, what's the difference between internal growth or external growth for a business? Which is exactly why I created the next video for you. But before that, if you didn't yet, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. And if you want to understand what's the difference between internal and external growth, which is super important for you to understand, if you want to pursue this field, then go and watch this next video right now, and I'm going to see you there in a bit.